gentlemen, boys and girls, it is me, Duke CT, live here on the Duke CT Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me, Duke CT. And what an interesting, very interesting show I have for you today. We have a guest here, Baba33, the man who did Baba reviews and all the TNA Impact reviews. I love your stuff, by the way, man. Keep up the good work. Anyway, there is so much stuff to talk about in the video game world. And, well, let us talk right here, right now, about Capcom. Yes, the reason why I played some Mega Man remix for OC Remix is there's some interesting news about the Capcom, about the company that owns the IP of Mega Man, Capcom. Now, this right here, suppose if you haven't heard the news, that Capcom, well, has not really done so well. In fact, they have, basically, they only have, $152 million in the bank. Yes, only $152 million. Yeah, that's not enough. But they have been making some money. In fact, supposedly, Monster Hunter, I don't know. I never really played the series. It's really been big and what have you. That's why people love it. I never played it. I played some of it at Comic-Con. It's fun, but it's not really my thing. Anyway, but people love it. In fact, it has over, I think it's the Soul Series sells over 28 million. And supposedly, since it's going to, with all the money for recent pick, and from the recent huge thing for Monster Hunter, what have you, is like 4 million yen there, reinvesting for the profits of Monster Hunter 4 into a new 4 billion yen in total Japanese mobile studio. And very interesting. A very interesting news. Yeah, it is. Thank you, Baba. It's big in Japan, what have you. And it's so many big here in the United States. There are people who swear this, love it up and down. I don't know. I don't know. I never got into it. But anyway, mobile, and it's going into mobile gaming. Now, this could be a good thing because a lot of people have mobile and they're going to the. Some would say this is a good thing because, hey, everyone plays their mobile phones and apps. A lot of a lot of people play like Angry Birds or whatever on their phones. They love their phones and apps and Kindles and what have you. They love playing those type of small, simple games. And Capcom repurposing this could be a very, very lucrative, thing for them. But if it's just going to be re-releases of the same games Capcom, does, like, say, Bionic Commando, Mega Man, Resident Evil, whatever, just doing those type of releases, I can feel that could be a problem. In fact, some people who think this is actually a negative are, saying this is the end of Capcom, which I hope it's not the case, because Capcom is one of the most longest. Seriously, people have gaming memories reaching back for I don't know how many years was based with Capcom and Nintendo. I mean, as a third party producer, it's, to me, Capcom is right up there with Activision, which is something I will talk about the story about that, or like Nintendo way back in the 80s, what have you. That was like, wow, it's right there with their childhoods and everything else. And if it goes down, a lot of people, I think Rich from Dukect USA said this, and I agree with him, that if Capcom goes down, this could be like the Lehman Brothers of the gaming world. And see, Mega Man guy. Same here, Bobbert. But I agree with you with Rich from Review Tech USA, in that if this thing goes down, if Capcom goes down, and I hope I hope it doesn't, because a lot of people love it. They think it's probably one of the most recognized and most biggest third-party game developers, and probably one of the longest-running game developers, what have you. I mean, one of the longest and most successful game third-party developers with IPs like, say, from Mega Man, Bionic Commando, I think Contra. Contra. I think, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Let's see. There's so many games Capcom has that they made, and so many of our memories and games and everything else. From Street Fighter to Resident Evil. I mean, so many just great stuff, memorable things. And Ghosts and Goblins, Dynasty Wars, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, UN Squadron. In the arcades, you got 1942. Like I said, Battle Avengers, all those beat 'em ups. Everything, these games and these moments in history that Capcom made and continue to make. I mean, from their old IPs to their new ones, and recently new ones like Devil May Cry or Dead Rising or Lost Planet, and old ones like Amanusa. I can't pronounce anything. It's when you see all this type of stuff, it is something that a lot of people have so many memories to, and so many positive memories. And if it goes down, a lot of people are going to be like, I don't know, why should I have faith in this anymore? Oh, yeah, Contra is Konami. Yeah, I'm sorry. I lose all gaming cred. Sorry. But I know I'm right about, like, say, Capcom games. So many good Capcom games in the past and present, and hopefully in the future as well. I haven't played Dead Rising 3 yet, but I think maybe that could be. It's probably going to be the last big game they have, and it's really a shame. It's a shame that Capcom, once the man, now is reduced to this. Sad. Anyway, we're going to take a small little break here, and we'll be right back after this. We're going to continue with the gaming news. Next up is, like I said, Activision. And boy, thinking of things are going down recently, something very interesting is going on with their Call of Duty series. And we'll be right back right after this here on Dukect Lounge to talk about what's going on with the latest entry of the COD series, Call of Duty Ghost. We'll be right back right after this here on the Dukect Lounge. Me, Duke CP. Thank you for listening. Back live here on the Dukect Lounge. Phone number, as always, is 724-444-7444. Once again, the number is 724-444-7444, and the call ID to connect to me, Duke CT, is 92417. Once again, the call ID is 92417. If you can't call in or connect to me, remember, there's always the chat room, always on lock, ladies and gentlemen, always there for the people who can actually correct me or what have you. Thank you once again for Barbara for correcting me. Contra is Konami IP, and I don't know what was happening there. Anyway, now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, speaking of an real old third-party developer, Activision. They were there when the stuff began, the modern gaming industry, when it reached its golden age. Activision, man, that takes people back. That, my friends, is one of the most oldest and one of the most longest, from 1979. 1979, it started. This whole dang on one of the few game publishers surviving the first video game crash. And it has so many games that has, like, with, in the 80s, Pitfall. You have Mech Warrior series in the 90s. You had Civilization. You had the Tony Hawk series. You had those X-Men video games and such. You had, I think, I think it was X-Men. I think X-Men Legends. X-Men Legends. I mean, that was people like that. You see, X-Men Legends, Star Wars Jedi 2, Jedi Outcast, pretty good game right there. I love that one. You have Rome Total War, True Crime series. I remember those back in the day. I mean, I think True Crime in New York was really good. The Call of Duty series, which I'm going to be stopping right here. The Call of Duty series, which started from 2003. And that was really, really a very good series. I mean, I played most of it. It was really good. Call of Duty 1, 2. I mean, Call of Duty 2, the Big Red 1. When I bought that game, it was the wrong way back. And then I went to the Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3. And honestly, the best one was the first one, because it was a nice little department for from the single player. The multiplayer became more and more the focus. And I played World at War. Didn't really care for it. And I didn't really care for the Black Ops series either. But let's talk about the Call of Duty Ghost, ladies and gentlemen. Call of Duty Ghost. The big, one of the best-selling game series so far. It's great. It's great. People love it. They love Call of Duty. They love everything else. They love it. But guess what? Guess what, people? 50% of the game sales are down from Black Ops 2. Oh, no. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like the Call of Duty Ghost train is stalled. It's stalling. It's a bit stalling, but it's still huge sell. It's sold really reasonably well, but it's now slowing down the first-person shooter market, and people are getting really, bland of it. And this happens. It always happens. Once upon a time, there was huge platformers, and it stopped. The real good games and platforms are still around, i.e. Mario, Sonic somewhat, and all the other stuff. And the same thing's going to happen with the first-person shooters, the Call of Duty games. Eventually, they will stop trickling down. They're like, okay, stop, what have you. Or what Activision does, they will basically stop, run it to the damn ground like they did with the Guitar Hero and the Guitar Hero series and the Tony Hawk series. Run it down to the complete ground. And But who cares about that? But anyway, you know, the Activision's publishing boss, Eric Hirschberg, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sorry. He had a lot to say, and the series, a lot to say about this, saying that it's not series fatigue. No. It's not people getting tired of playing the same game over and over again. No, he says, and here it is. He says the reason why that the sales are down is because of the console transition, because of this gen and next gen. Yeah, I don't think so. No, I don't think that's the case. I honestly think if you're really going to buy a game, regardless of new gen or next gen, they're going to buy and still sell the game. In fact, I think it was Call of Duty 2 that was on the Xbox 360. Was it Call of Duty 2? Let me see the series, because obviously this was, Call of Duty 2 was the first one for the Xbox 360. And what happened on that? In fact, it sold over the 360 version, sold over 250,000 copies in its first week, and sold 2 million copies by January in 2008. It looked like it didn't have any slowdowns there. I mean, it looked like it was actually doing pretty daggone well for itself. Yeah, it looks like someone is basically covering its own ass. And it looks like Activision, it looks like in the end, it looks like Call of Duty, people are getting, sick of it. And it's sad. It really is sad that people can't just say, well, maybe we need to do something new with the title, or maybe do something new and say, okay, I would love one day to see one of these, faceless corporate people to just say, you know what, okay. Listen, we have been pushing the same product for a very healthy product. People love it. Still play it on Xbox Live or what have you. It's still one of the most played games. But it looks like it took a bit of a hit. And you know what? Maybe we need to release the gas pedal on this series, and let's try to do something new and try to bring a new franchise, a new IP. Instead of doing the same old stuff, like most of you people in the game industry think the Call of Duty Ghosts or Call of Duty series does. We're going to bring out a brand new IP and have it rest up for a couple years. No, we're not going to do that. They're just going to sit and sift blame. It's downright sad. But you know what? That's what they want to keep doing that. By all means, keep doing it. Yes, Call of Duty Ghost is doing great, even though it's not doing that well in next-gen consoles. You know what? Maybe this is a sign that, looks like the first-person shooter genre is starting to dip. The huge monsters of the Call of Duty and Battlefield looking like it's finally going to pass in history. And now the question is, after this in this gaming world, and I'm asking you, the people, and I want to XE89, what have you, says in the comments I put this on YouTube. I also want to ask you, Barbara333, since you're in the guest chat room now, what is going to be the next big thing that gaming is going to launch to? What's going to be the next big thing? I do too. I wish Wonderful 101 and Mad World got big sales, but, c'est la vie. But, I wonder, what's going to be the next big thing in gaming? What's going to be the next big thing? What's going to be the one thing that people are going to like, this one area? I honestly think, call me crazy, but maybe, just maybe, I think it's going to be something a little more different. Something, not platformers, not first-person shooters, but maybe, puzzle games. I think puzzle games, Lumosity or whatever that website is, having those brain training type stuff, might get that type of shift or what have you. I don't know, but that's my personal thing. I don't have any charts or futuristic graphs and all that type of stuff. Personally, I would love to see more sci-fi type games, third-person shooter type stuff. Some people don't like that third-person shooter, but it is probably some on mobile phones probably. Yeah, but I'm talking about what genre. I'm talking about genre. What next genre is going to hit it big? I don't know. Maybe I think puzzle games might be the next big thing. But I honestly think it's going to be something, because a lot of people like the puzzle games. They like the instant access to quick solving. Maybe, I don't know. Again, I'm taking a pick of puzzle games. But then again, it's going to be pretty hilarious. They're going to try to make the puzzle games all like, try to dude bro them up. Basically trying to say, dude bro, look at the puzzle games I'm doing, man. Look at that. Oh, yeah. And drinking your Mountain Dew and your 500 pounds of Doritos or what have you, and try to make it look hardcore. Maybe try to add guns and a nonsensical story. Yes, you must help solve this puzzle or the planet explodes, or some type of non-secular thing. I don't know about the storylines about that. I don't know. But anyway, well, I don't know what type of next big thing. Like I said, it's going to be puzzle games. And, it is hard to tell, Bob. Sure, call in. Go ahead. I love for people to call in. Let's see. Again, if you want to call in, remember, people, our phone number, as always, is 724-444-7444. And once again, the number is 724-444-7444. And the call ID to connect to me, Duke CT, is 92417. Once again, call it is 92417. And this is just going to be a very interesting call, because I love having Bobbert on. Very interesting type of guy. But again, well, it's funny because Activision I don't know. It is. It's just, I think a lot of people, I think it is. It's back to the Call of Duty story here. I think it is a franchise fatigue. It happens. I mean, heck, even with the greats. Heck, I haven't played a brand new Mario game, a true new Mario game, since Mario Galaxy, too. I got a little sick of, Mario and stuff. And when I do get a Wii U, by the way, and I will be getting one next year, I will try to get Mario 3D World, because it looks so good. And that cat suit is just so awesome. But honestly, I can see it's franchise fatigue, and it's always going to be like that. People get tired of it, that's all. People just like, you know what? I want to move on, I want to try something new. And I think it is. It's just that same thing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got Bob, and I think, is he up here? Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can hear you right now, man. What's up? How you doing? Introduce yourself, and go ahead and plug yourself if you can, my friend.
Okay, like CT said earlier, I'm Bob33. I do some reviews on video games and a little bit of wrestling, mostly TNA Impact stuff. And my YouTube channel is Bob33, so if you want to come check me out, that'd be great.
All right, man. Anyway, you heard about the story, and what do you think is the Activision blaming Call of Duty Ghosts on low sales, like say it's a next-gen thing and what have you? But the question is, do you think he's right to say, it's just next-gen, or it's just like I think it is, it's just people are just tired of it? What do you think?
I think it's mostly people are just tired of. I think the next-gen probably does play a little bit factor, but not as big as Activision are making it out to be, but it's mostly people are getting tired of the same first-person shooter every year.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. And also, what do you think for the next big thing? And what do you think is the next big, huge thing here of the next big, huge new thing? What's going to be the next big thing, people? Since they're getting tired of first-person shooters, I said my personal thing is going to be puzzle games. I want to hear from you. What genre you think is going to be in? I mean, just take a rapid stab in the dark. Because again, we had platformers one time. Next, we had like quick time events, and the other, we had that huge, like I said, first-person shooters. What's going to be the next big thing? What's going to be the next big thing?
Yeah, you can't never really predict these things. I mean, anything could happen in video games. But if I have to take a guess, and this is a wild guess, I think we might go back to platformers. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of crazy, but I don't know. I just can't picture any other genre, really. I mean, I think RPG is, well, at least on consoles, it's not really that popular. But on handhelds, it's way more popular on handhelds than anything else. Puzzle games, I can picture that for the casual gamers, because casual gamers, especially on the mobile phones, enjoy puzzle games. In fact, I've seen people on my work play like this Candy Crush game. I've never played it myself. I'm not really that into mobile games, but they seem to be into that game a whole lot. But I don't know. It's really hard to tell, but definitely first-person shooter seems like it's getting stale and may not be the big game that it was back then anymore.
Yeah. Also, I just looked at a very interesting article. Something interesting happened a couple of months ago. Activision was talking all this stuff about saying Call of Duty Ghosts was going to claim its sales record from Grand Theft Auto 5, and well, yeah, yeah, hindsight's always 2020 or whatever it is. But anyway, man, hopefully you can stay around for a while, unless you need to head out, because we're going to take a small little break here. Are you going to still be around?
Maybe. What's the next topic you're going to talk about?
Oh, the big topic. Well, we could talk about this right now. Let's talk about this right now, because this, my friends, is really big. And the pro wrestling stuff, as you like to talk about the pro wrestling, but it's not TNA, but it's WWE. It is WWE Monday Night Raw last Monday night, and averaged about, 3.541 million viewers. Down from the previous weeks of 4.135 million viewers. First hour drew 3.61 million viewers. Second hour dropped to 3.560 million. And once again, the third hour, because every Monday Night Raw, the third hour always dips, because no one sits and watches a show for 3 hours long, because it is insanity. And I stopped watching Monday Night Raw, and I am so happy I did.
Same here.
Stopped. Yes, I don't know how Muse and all those guys, I don't know why you keep doing it. I still know people still watch Raw that many times. It drives me up the wall, because it just frustrates me every single time.
And they can still complain about Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, I know. Again, I love, at least Impact Wrestling knows what it is, and it's 2 hours and you're in and out. It's just 3 hours. It's a war of attrition. Even if it's a good show, it's still too daggone long. But anyway, the rating, ladies and gentlemen, the whole rating system was official. It was a 2.65. Yeah, it was probably one of the lowest ratings in 2013. I saw this coming, and most people knew this was going to happen eventually, because one, it's a 3-hour show, and I don't care who your star is. I don't think even Hulk Hogan back in the day in the 80s could actually draw a show and had a weekly program like this and have still be like people will still watch or what have you for 3 hours. It's just so. And honestly, the last time I watched Raw, it's been a while, but the way it's structured is always so daggone just weird. It's just like promos that last so long. In fact, it really bothers me, by the way. There's no good short promo. You get everything else in 150 seconds. Back in the Hogan, Macho Man, Jake the Snake, Bret Hart, all those guys got that thing done in 150 seconds. In and out, done. And now they feel like you have it seems like the longer and longer and longer, these promos. And some of these promos keep going on to the point that it's just, it seems nothing. They talk.
They're not even that good.
Yeah, they're not even good. And they just talk for hours, and there's no real point to them. And not only that, and what have you have these matches. And by the way, they fight every single week. You see, I like The Shield. I like Daniel Bryan. I like CM Punk. But I don't want to see matches. I mean, they're just starting up now, but it just seems to me that every time they're doing The Shield or Daniel Bryan, they have these random type of matches or what have you. And just like a Daniel Bryan versus Shield members, this and Usos and all this type of stuff is the same match. I don't care how good it is. Exactly. I mean, I don't ever want to see Dean Ambrose versus Daniel Bryan ever again. No more.
Can I ask something on Dick CT?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Now Raw is 3 hours, but now if you add the fact that they have other shows like Main Event, which is 1 hour, and SmackDown 2 hours, and the sometimes uses the same wrestlers on that show, if you factor that on that, you start to get really tired of the same old matches, especially if you were a usual fan like me and you that knows which matches are going to be squash matches and all that. It just gets really tiring.
It does. And it's just, and some people say, well, it's because of the NFL football. And yes, we have to preface this else in the United States. You have Monday Night Football, and it was a big game. And I know some people don't like NFL football, but it is NFL football in the United States is king, and it's going to be king for a good long while. I had a matchup between one of the two top teams in the NFL, Seattle versus New Orleans, Seattle Seahawks versus New Orleans Saints, and that did probably play a factor into it. But to me, I always don't like that excuse. I hate that excuse because there used to be other stuff out there. In fact, people say, well, it's because of Pawn Stars and all this. No, you know what? No, I'm tired of these stupid excuses. I'm tired of excuses, and people just stop watching. Like, people are like, well, it's kind of like this, or NFL season, or the Pawn Stars, and all the other stuff, and all the other. Like, no, there were competition in the 90s. There was competition in the 2000s. There was competition and what have you. And they still put up decent numbers. They still got high in the 18 to 34 ratio rating stuff for men, what have you. And it just pisses me off. It pisses me off that the WWE, for whatever reason, does not. They are just going to sit back and do all this crap, by the way, which, by the way, the storyline, the whole Authority storyline, it's funny. If you notice, if you're an old wrestling fan like me, Randy Orton's been on top of Raw once upon a time before, ratings dropped. He was on top of the head of SmackDown. Ratings dropped. And now, Monday Night Raw, guess who's on top right now, Bobbert?
No. What was that?
Yeah, Randy Orton. Randy Orton is on top, man. And guess what's happened to Monday Night Raw's ratings?
Oh, yeah, they're going down.
Exactly. I don't know. I don't want to blame him for Furman, but it's funny. And not only that, but I think they're missing out on to me, they're missing out. For another huge demographic, women. I mean, I'm sorry. I know some people like the Total Diva show. I hate it. I think it's complete garbage. But to me, when you have strong female protagonists in other forms of media, like Gravity, I'm going to try to see that like maybe in the next couple of, maybe next week, what have you, because I heard that's really good. Gravity, you have the Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Katniss Everdeen, that made money. And also the new Disney movie, Frozen, which had two very good female protagonists. Very good stuff. Don't listen to trailers. It's a great movie, something that for teenagers and young women and male, all the people could really enjoy. When you have the WWE, you have someone like, say, AJ Lee, who I don't like. I think she's okay, but I think WWE... So, it's just like, it's a little bit indulgent. She just rubs me the wrong way. But she does have a chance to connect with that young female and male audience with the geeky type of stuff. It seems like she has that type of connection with the audience if they really, really care. They really tried. WWE really tried. But instead, they do this stupid stuff with the Total Divas. The last time I actually watched a Divas segment, it was a stupid musical chair segment. I'm like, hold on. Oh, no. And I'm like, really? A musical chair segment. Well, you have supposedly saying these divas are so powerful and everything else. And meanwhile, you have like the UFC, with Ronda Rousey kicking ass in UFC, what have you. And I guarantee there's a lot of females, young girls watching that more than what the WWE is doing. It's just, we will go on and off on TNA, what have you. But when I look at TNA and their knockouts division, as depleted it is, it looks like they're trying to rebuild it. At least they're not doing this stupid type of stuff. They're actually doing...
Yeah, at least,
go ahead,
sorry about that. But at least TNA seems like they are recognizing the mistake and trying their best to fix it. For example, the Aces and Eight funeral, that was a great segment, and the Gail Cam open challenge match to new divas. New knockouts. Sorry about that, but I like the idea. I think they could do better by giving the new female wrestlers some more time to show up their skills. But I think at least you can say that Impact is trying to improve.
Exactly. And it just seems there's a lot of hypocrisy out there that they will go out on Impact Wrestling, but they are basically crickets when it comes to the Divas division. But they are speaking up about it now, finally. It just really is frustrating when WWE's like, well, they keep saying, wait and see. And then you wait and you still see it's still crap. And, they keep falling for it over and over. It's like, again, like I said last week, it's the Sonic cycle. They continually go around and say, well, it's the same thing. Like, we keep hoping. And then they see more of the storyline, and then they get frustrated and like, oh, God, no, why did this happen this way? And then they start it up all over again. The League of Denial all over again. And I'm just, it is. It's frustrating. And and the sad part is about Monday Night Raw and the ratings, it's failed, but yet guess what? It's sad because it produces better ratings than anything that the USA ever produces. That's the real truth right there. So again, the WWE probably doesn't want 3 hours, but it's sadly the 3 hours will still probably produces better ratings than most of anything that USA has. And but then again, it is. And not only that, you have inconclusive pay-per-view reviews, and then we have SmackDown on Monday Night Raw. You just keep going over and over, and you have the same people going over. Randy Orton, John Cena, we had the same thing over. They're trying to treat this like it's Macho Man and Hulk Hogan. They're trying to treat this like it's Rock and Austin. It's not even Triple H and Rock. It's not that. Hell, they have more of Triple H and Rock will face one of the title. People will probably be more excited for that. Match might be terrible, but people will be actually more excited than seeing Randy Orton and John Cena. Hell, one segment when they both stacked down each other, like I think it was a couple weeks ago. You know what that crowd was? The crowd didn't even give a crap. They were chanting other stuff. They were booing both. They were chanting Daniel Bryan, all this other stuff. Basically, just ignoring the two main people, the two people who are supposedly in the focus of the storyline, the authority storyline, which honestly at this point they need to just scrap it. I think at this point, scrap it. And by the way, and the one thing that really bothers me about the whole thing, Randy Orton, who had a wellness strike, 60-day wellness strike, gets this. This year he had a wellness violation, and he was 60 days. He was gone for 60 days, and then he gets welcomed back and getting this big storyline. I'm sorry, but that's just stupid. I know I don't want to have him continue to punish, but can they find? I just like, you don't understand what I'm saying though, right, Bobbin? He's just like,
yeah,
you're gonna give him another chance to get over. He's 32 years old. He has 10 world championships, and the crowd doesn't even care. The only people that care about him is because he has a flashy finishing move. They don't care about his promos. They don't care about his ring work. They don't care about it because he likes his finisher move. That's it. Hell, Diamond Dallas Page had more an interesting character than Randy Orton. And it's sad. And it really is something. And here's something really interesting about the funny thing. And I'm probably, I want to start something a little bit funny, little tidbit I just read on the forum. It says about WWE, and I'll probably end this show right quick after this. It says, the rise of reality television took away a bigger chunk of wrestling's audience than any sport. Back in the day, wrestling used to be one of the only places that you could see larger-than-life characters talk shit to each other and fight in outlandish situation. Now, you can turn on any reality show and get the same result. Am I wrong?
No.
It is. I'm not wrong. And you know what? Reality, and I hate reality TV shows, but they right in that point. And it's like you get more. And in fact, the sad thing is, I guarantee you the Total Divas show, which I never liked, don't like, and I still don't like, will probably have more interesting and valued characters to the divas and the people and the wrestlers that are in them than the show itself trying to promote. And Monday Night Raw, main event, what have you. They are going to be like, man, I still don't care. People won't care. I just hope, and the sad thing is, and all the craziness, you have news that Stephanie McMahon's out of creative or what have you, and then you have Kevin, whoever, the producer of the WWE. It's like, Stephanie's gone, but he's moving up, and I'm like, it just really is to say that it just frustrates me that they're just continually upgrading people that don't know what the hell they're doing. They still have these. Oh, not Kevin Sullivan. I think it is
Kevin Nash.
No, not him, because I thought it was funny. Kevin Nash, who just put himself in the title picture and just be like this. And honestly, sadly, if they put Kevin Nash there, I think it'd still be better than what have you. But yeah, it's terrible. And now, and sadly, to end the note on this, WWE is a very interesting thing that really just shows you how little they care about characters. Is that they are teaching their talents, supposedly, Eva Marie, the great Eva Marie, was smiling and laughing on her way back on the way to the back after her elimination at the WWE Survivor Series pay-per-view. They are now teaching talents that if they're on the babyface side, when they leave the ring, they should smile and engage fans and play their character and not sell the loss.
Oh. Rest in peace, Diva Division.
Yeah. And not only that, it's for male people, too. I think Lance Storm said it, that, I think this is something that's already been around. Lance Storm actually said, he lost the match and he was so injury or what have you, they were pissed off at him. And they're saying, oh, wait a minute. Why aren't you dancing? Why are you not doing this? I'm like, I just I'm selling the injury the guy beat me up on. It was very brutal. No, then I keep dancing. Like, why? That doesn't make any sense. Why is the babyface or anyone happy after they lose? I don't understand the WWE. I don't understand anything. Why is this people who are happy about losing? What is that going to say? Well, kids, that's a great lesson to kids. Yeah, you feel bad, but don't feel bad about losing. Don't try to improve or anything else. Just keep smiling and sucking and jiving. Because that always works better. Don't need to work hard or anything else. I imagine these people around with Hogan when he lost the belt, with him crying and looking distraught. They would have probably yelled and fired him. Jesus. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Anyway, thanks again for joining me, Bobber. I just probably brought the show down with that.
Okay, no problem.
All right, man. Check Bobber Reviews out. I will leave a link when I upload this to YouTube. So if you get like one or two people following you afterwards, you know who to thank.
Thanks. More the merrier.
All right, man. Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me here on the Dukect Lounge podcast and also part of the Red Ribbon review as well. You see the red ribbon on the side of the video. And that red ribbon is there to promote HIV awareness for National AIDS Day in the United States, to basically promote, this horrible disease and not promote the horrible disease. To promote awareness of this horrible disease and hopefully fight for a cure and hopefully find a cure for this one day. And hopefully, with these little shows, I think myself doing and my review, my Red Ribbon review will be coming up soon. Hopefully by next week, it'll be really a positive one since I haven't done any positive stuff lately. And everything else. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining me, Dukect, and also Bobber333. Thank you once again for joining me here on the Dukect Lounge. Dukect here. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.